Imagine a world where everyone is rushing, chasing the next trend, the next stock, the next headline. A world where fear and greed dominate every decision, and where the loudest voices drown out the quiet truth. In the middle of this chaos sits one man, calm, almost invisible in the noise. His name is Warren Buffett. While billions are lost overnight and fortunes vanish in the blink of an eye, he sits quietly, reading, thinking, and observing. The stock market shakes, investors panic, yet he remains serene, almost untouchable. How is it possible that one man, in the eye of a storm, can see what others cannot? What secret allows him to not just survive, but to thrive when the world is frantically chasing what seems urgent but is rarely important? Some call him the Oracle of Omaha. Others call him the richest man in the world. But behind the title, behind the billions, there is a method, a blueprint, that he has followed for decades. It is not flashy. It does not make headlines. It is quiet, deliberate, and profoundly simple. And it is the same principle that can guide anyone who dares to think differently in a noisy world. This is not a story about get-rich-quick schemes, sudden tips, or overnight fortunes. This is a story about patience. About clarity. About making the right decisions at the right time, and having the courage to do nothing when everyone else is doing too much. It is about mastering your mind before mastering the market. Tonight, we are going to explore the principles that have allowed Warren Buffett to build immense wealth, not through luck alone, but through calm, deliberate, and rational thinking. We will look at the moments when the world panicked and he remained steady, the choices that turned simple patience into staggering results, and the lessons you can take from a life lived wisely, quietly, and deliberately. If you've ever felt lost in the noise of markets, overwhelmed by fear, or tempted to act impulsively, then this story is for you. By the end, you may not become a billionaire overnight, but you will see clearly how calm thinking, applied consistently, can be your greatest asset. Before the headlines. Before the billions. Before the world recognized his name, Warren Buffett lived a life defined not by chaos, but by quiet discipline. While others chased trends, he chased knowledge. While others reacted, he observed. While others panicked at the slightest market tremor, he remained still, like a tree rooted deep in soil, untouched by the wind. Buffett's mornings were simple, deliberate. Newspapers spread across his desk, a cup of coffee at hand, and pages upon pages of annual reports, charts, and financial statements. Not flashy, not glamorous. But this routine, repeated day after day, built the foundation for decisions that would later move billions. While the world sought instant answers, he sought understanding, slow, methodical, patient. The calm he cultivated was not accidental. It was a skill, honed over decades, rooted in deep curiosity and unwavering focus. He read constantly, thinking critically, asking questions, and filtering noise. Every decision was measured against timeless principles, not the latest market hysteria. While others worried about headlines or viral trends, he asked simple questions: is this a good business? Can it grow? Can I trust its management? This quiet discipline allowed him to act when the world froze. When fear spread like wildfire during market crashes, Buffett's calm thinking turned hesitation into opportunity. Investors panicked, selling at losses. He bought. When optimism blinded others, he waited. His wealth did not come from luck, it came from clarity, patience, and the courage to trust his own mind. And yet, despite the billions, despite the fame, his lifestyle remained remarkably grounded. The quiet streets of Omaha, modest home, and simple pleasures were a testament to a life lived deliberately, not extravagantly. He proved that wealth is not just about numbers on a balance sheet, but about mastery of the mind, consistency in thought, and serenity in action. Tonight, we begin by understanding this calm, the mindset that allowed Buffett to see clearly when others were lost in noise. For in his stillness, we discover the first lesson of the Buffett Blueprint: true wealth is built not in haste, but in patience, clarity, and deliberate thought. Now, we begin to uncover the core of Warren Buffett's success, what I call the Buffett Blueprint. It is deceptively simple, yet profound in its application. 3 principles form the foundation of this approach: clarity, patience, and emotional control. Each, on its own, seems modest. Together, they create a framework that allows a mind to thrive in a world obsessed with chaos. The first principle is clarity over noise. Buffett filters information relentlessly. He does not chase the latest tip or panic at headlines. Instead, he studies fundamentals: the health of a business, the quality of management, the long-term potential of an enterprise. While the world obsesses over short-term fluctuations, he focuses on what truly matters. This clarity allows him to see patterns others miss, to recognize opportunity hidden in plain sight. The second principle is emotional control. Markets are driven by fear and greed, yet Buffett treats these forces as guides, not triggers. He does not react impulsively. When others panic, he remains calm. When optimism blinds the masses, he remains vigilant. This emotional discipline transforms volatility from threat into advantage. He understands that wealth is not merely numbers, it is the product of sound decisions, free from the sway of mood or hype. The third principle is time as an ally. Buffett does not seek instant results. He invests with the long view, trusting in compounding, in patience, and in consistent action. He knows that wealth grows slowly, quietly, and steadily, like a tree maturing over decades. Impulse, speed, and panic are enemies of this process. By letting time work its magic, Buffett allows small, deliberate actions to become extraordinary outcomes. These principles are not abstract concepts. They are actionable strategies. They apply not only to investing, but to life, career, and decision-making in any complex environment. The Buffett Blueprint teaches us that wisdom and calm thinking are more powerful than speed or noise. Tonight, we will explore real moments where these principles turned opportunities into fortune, where calm thinking triumphed over chaos, and where patience and clarity created results that defied the frenzy around them. The true measure of any strategy is how it performs under pressure. For Warren Buffett, that test comes in moments of chaos, market crashes, economic uncertainty, and the panic of the crowd. While headlines scream fear, he remains calm. While others sell in terror, he studies, waits, and chooses his moment. Consider the crash of 2008. The world's financial system trembled. Banks failed. Investors panicked. Headlines predicted doom at every turn. Yet, Buffett saw opportunity. He did not react out of fear. He did not chase the trending investments of the day. Instead, he identified strong companies with long-term value and invested, quietly and deliberately. Where others saw risk, he saw clarity. Where others fled, he moved steadily, almost invisibly. Chaos is the ultimate test of calm. It separates the impulsive from the rational, the fearful from the disciplined. Buffett's approach demonstrates that crises are not obstacles, but moments to exercise judgment. Emotional control becomes an asset. Knowledge becomes armor. Patience becomes power. Markets are reflections of human behavior, a constant tug-of-war between fear and greed. Most lose because they let emotion dictate action. Buffett's genius lies not in predicting the unpredictable, but in mastering himself. By waiting, by thinking clearly, and by acting only when logic supports it, he turns volatility into advantage. This principle is not limited to finance. Life is full of chaos, sudden challenges, societal pressures, moments that tempt rash decisions. The Buffett Blueprint applies universally: remain calm, observe carefully, and act deliberately. Those who panic are swept aside, those who wait, watch, and choose, endure, and often prosper. The lesson is clear: true wealth is not built in moments of frenzy. It is forged in the quiet, in patience, and in disciplined thinking. In every crash, every collapse, every chaotic headline, there is a hidden opportunity for those who refuse to be swayed by noise. Buffett's calm in chaos is not luck. It is a blueprint. And tonight, we will uncover how this blueprint transforms simple principles into extraordinary wealth, revealing the psychology behind the patience, the decisions, and the quiet victories that define his life. What separates Warren Buffett from the crowd is not just knowledge, nor sheer experience, nor even luck. It is his psychology, the way he thinks, perceives, and responds to the world. True wealth, he has shown, is first built in the mind. Before money, there is calm. Before decisions, there is clarity. Before action, there is patience. Buffett understands that humans are inherently emotional. Fear and greed govern behavior far more than reason. Most investors react impulsively, letting headlines, rumors, and panic dictate their actions. Buffett does the opposite. He studies, absorbs, and waits. He knows that every rash decision erodes potential, while disciplined thinking compounds it. One of his greatest psychological tools is delayed gratification. Buffett does not chase instant returns. He invests in businesses he understands, that he can hold for decades. He is comfortable with slow growth, knowing that compounding, whether of money, knowledge, or relationships, works quietly over time. Impulse, he knows, is wealth's enemy. Patience is its friend. Equally important is simplicity. Buffett avoids complexity, focusing only on what is essential. He reads hundreds of pages every day, distilling information into a few key insights. He filters out noise, distractions, and hype. By keeping his mind clear, he ensures that every decision is deliberate, rational, and grounded in reality. And perhaps most importantly, Buffett exercises emotional control. In a world obsessed with speed, with flashy trends, and with constant stimuli, he chooses calm. He does not envy, does not panic, does not follow the crowd. This inner calm is the foundation of every action he takes. It allows him to see opportunity where others see only fear, to act when others hesitate, and to turn ordinary decisions into extraordinary outcomes. The psychology of calm wealth is simple, yet powerful: master your mind, delay gratification, simplify complexity, and act deliberately. Buffett's wealth is not just in dollars, but in clarity, patience, and self-control, lessons that anyone, in life or finance, can adopt. Tonight, we will see how this calm psychology translates into real-world actions, turning patience and clarity into investments that build not only wealth, but lasting legacy. The wisdom of Warren Buffett is not meant only for billionaires. It is a blueprint anyone can follow, a guide for making better decisions, managing risk, and building lasting success. At its heart, the lesson is simple: think calm, act deliberate, and trust time. Buffett teaches us that patience is more powerful than speed. That clarity outweighs chaos. That acting without emotion transforms opportunity into results. In a world that rewards haste and punishes thought, this philosophy seems almost revolutionary. Yet it is exactly what has allowed him to thrive while others faltered. We can apply this blueprint in our own lives. Approach challenges with a clear mind. Avoid the temptation to follow every trend. Pause, observe, and make decisions rooted in understanding, not impulse. Trust that consistent, small actions, compounded over time, yield extraordinary results. Wealth, in all its forms, financial, personal, or emotional, grows quietly, steadily, and deliberately. And above all, control your emotions. Fear, greed, and impatience are the enemies of growth. Calm thinking is your superpower. By mastering your mind first, you gain the freedom to navigate complexity without panic, to see opportunities others overlook, and to act with confidence when it matters most. Buffett's life proves it. True wealth is not about chasing every headline or reacting to every wave of chaos. It is about cultivating patience, clarity, and emotional discipline. By following this blueprint, anyone can build not only financial security, but the peace of mind that comes from knowing they are acting wisely, even when the world around them is in turmoil. The lessons of Warren Buffett are clear: calm thinking, patience, and clarity are more powerful than haste, fear, or impulsive decisions. The Buffett Blueprint shows us that wealth is not just about money. It is about mastery of the mind, deliberate action, and trusting the process. If this story has inspired you, take a moment to reflect. How often do you act in panic, follow the crowd, or let noise drown out your judgment? By pausing, observing, and thinking clearly, you can navigate both life and markets with confidence. Subscribe and follow for more stories that reveal the minds behind success, the quiet thinkers, the patient strategists, and the principles that turn simple habits into extraordinary results. Remember, true wealth is not built in chaos. It is built in calm, with clarity, and over time. Apply the blueprint. Think calm. Grow rich.